The Supreme Court has given judgment, setting aside the Court of Appeal judgment and the State High Court judgment that says Anyanwu should not be. Now, out of your selfish interest, you are not interpreting the Supreme Court judgment that they say the party has supremacy to remove. The court said this man should not be. The man wants an appeal. The Supreme Court, in its would set aside that judgment. Instead of you to implement the judgment, you are not dialing. Now, so this is why I keep on telling people. These people have how many months to stay? They are living in December. Why not remove yourself from this quagmire of who will now, in tomorrow, why are some people living? Their fear is, look, I don't know who will sign our document. The Constitution says a correspondence to INEC must be the national chairman and national secretary. Now you're having a quagmire of who will be or who is the national secretary. Okay, take for example now, area council election, which will be conducted by INEC, right? Who is going to assign the list to INEC? Now, if Anyanwu is not the one that will sign it, another person signs, people go to court and say no. If not comply with the law. INEC said no. This is not the national secretary. By law, by what we have, this is the national secretary. If you really want this party to survive, why can't you make sacrifices? No. Let's not put ourselves under this kind of this is what I've been preaching since. Why do you take that kind of risk? Take for example, you want to hold NEC. Who issues notice of NEC? Who? Another secretary. If another person issues that notice, we will challenge it. If it's not somebody, the national secretary, as allowed by law, that issues notice of that NEC committee, I will challenge it. It's not that it must be. That is the secretary. I will not do anything for people. That's the law. That's Supreme Court judgment. Why we run away from implementing Supreme Court judgment? Why? What do we see? That's why I have always told people. Selfish interest. What's my interest? I'm not running an election. What's my interest? Why do you fall into temptations as an opposition party? It's because you think that if Sam Anyanwu is there, he may not be able to compromise him to do certain things maybe you want. Or Sam Anyanwu is close to Wike, that is an offense. Too well, too good. If that's an offense, I too will not agree, allow anybody who is close to me to be humiliated. Because if now it's an offense to be close to Wike, somebody is punished because he goes to Wike's house. I will not fold my arms and allow somebody punished simply because he comes to Wike's house. It's not going to be possible. Let's allow the right thing to be done. Like I said, certain things we agree. Let us see whether sincerely they will implement it.
If the PDP zones the presidency to the south,
yes,
would you abandon President Tinubu and support the PDP's candidate?
And let's get to the bridge. They will talk about the bridge. Let's get there first. Let's get there first. But do the right thing.
But this Supreme Court judgment that you talk about, is it possible that that judgment is possible to be interpreted two ways?
Well, there's no two ways.
It has to be Anyanwu.
No, there's no two ways. What was the issue? Somebody went to court that Anyanwu ought to have resigned, that he went and contested governorship election. Morally, yes. Legally, no. The constitution of the party does not say he should resign. As if the man capitalized on the loophole of the constitution of their party, all you will do subsequently in not allow this lacuna to be there is to amend their constitution. That's how it is done. Now, the man went to court, and then them appealed to the Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal, in a 2-1 decision, upheld the judgment of the State High Court. Went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, look, in the first place, the man who went to court has no local standing. In the first place, he has no local standing to even go to court. What's your business? 2, assuming you even have a local standing, it's the entire affairs of the party that they should settle. Do you understand me? And set aside the judgment of Court of Appeal. Now, when people even talk about it's a Southeast position, it's not Southeast position. First of all, it's a Southern position. The South, okay, we are going to produce from the Southeast. And another thing, can you and somebody who was elected in National Convention now bring a replacement without an election? They appointed. Now, the argument they have made is that it has happened before. I say, fine. That's when you were unity. Nobody will want to raise it. Now there appears to be a fraction. There appears to be a problem. And that's why people are challenging it.